Hello, folks. Uh, Talking about myself, my name is Aditya, and I am a BTech graduate in Electrical and Electronics Engineering. I think that's all about myself. And similar to you guys, even we were getting bored in our homes during these pandemic and post-pandemic times. So we have planned to start a series on the given topic, which is physics. So the plan of this series or this YouTube channel is basically to cover the topics of physics for classes 11th and 12th. Like, I do know that we have a lot of resources online to get through, but I'll surely try my best to use all my experience and knowledge in the same for your benefit and obviously for everyone's benefit. So, talking about the subjects, we will be starting with class 12th first for the students who have moved from 11th to 12th. I think they are in most more critical phase than the students who are moving to 10th to 11th. So for our first series, we'll be starting with class 12th, and follow-on series we will then, based on the response from the viewers, we will go for class 11th. So as you know already know, I won't talk details on the syllabus and things, but yes, I will give an overview of what exactly the syllabus of class 12 is. But before moving to that, subject is physics. So what exactly is physics? Physics is nothing but physics is everything which is happening around us. Like from your junior standards, you would have classified some of the chapters into physics and then chemistry and mathematics. Sorry, biology. But you should have known that what exactly is physics, what exactly is chemistry, and what exactly is biology. How do we classify it? So today I'm here to talk about physics. Physics is nothing but study of nature. Study of nature. Like everything we see in nature is physics. Like for example, gravitation. This is something we feel on a regular basis. Gravitation is physics. For example, on a rainy day, you see a rainbow coming up and you get fascinated by the colors. How does it come? That is all again physics. From all the processes to all the situations which is happening around us, we are surrounded by physics everywhere. And I see a lot of people talk that yeah, subjects are not logical. Chemistry, we have a lot of exceptions and things, but in physics you'll see that you'll have a lot of facts and things, and you can see and experience most of them. Be it motion or be it in the electric current, to you'll be able to relate. So talking about physics of class 12th, standard 12th physics, you know that it is an extension of what we studied in class 10th. So we do have chapters starting from electrics and then magnetics, then we have chapters on optics, and then we have some modern physics chapters. So first chapter we have, which is called electric charge and field. We'll be starting with this chapter. Then second chapter is basically electric potential and capacitance. These two falls under the category of electrostatics. Third chapter is current electricity. Fourth chapter will talk about magnetic effect of current. So these two will come into the category of electrodynamics. Then fifth chapter we have magnetism and matter. Sixth will talk about electromagnetic induction. Seventh will talk about alternating current. And eighth will talk about electromagnetic waves. So now you can see that all the chapters are related somehow to the electricity and magnetism. First two chapter talks about the charge at rest. Second chapter talks about charges in motion. Then we have a topic of magnetism, what exactly is magnetism and how matter develops a magnetism when magnetic field is applied to it. Then we have a chapter which is the coupling of both electricity and magnetism, which is called electromagnetic induction, like how by changing electric field we can generate magnetic field, and then how by changing magnetic field we can generate electric energy, things like that we will talk in that. And this is what the first part of physics for class 12th is all about. It's all about electricity and magnetism. Talking about part B now falls into the uh, optics, which is also an extension of what you studied in 10th light chapter, you might have studied, which is extension of that. Ninth chapter is ray optics. 10th chapter will again talk about wave optics. These two are falls into category of optics. Then we have chapters like dual nature radiation, atom, nuclei, semiconductor, and communication systems. These all fall under the category of modern physics. So these are all enhancement of the ancient physics which you have studied. So these 15 chapters are the basis of your class 12 physics, and our plan is to start from one, go one by one in a detailed manner, not to skip anything, not to escape anything, but to explain things clearly to you. Yeah, in case of any doubts, you can surely reach out to me. So as we discussed, our first topic for the day or for the coming sessions is electric charges and field, which is the first chapter of your 12th standard. So before entering into that, we must recall that this is a part of a topic or a sub branch called electrostatics. The name itself indicates that electro means charge, the static means something which is in rest. So it is the study of charges at rest. So the charges, how the charges will behave being at rest, we will study in this particular unit. But before entering into all that, like we recall this term charge, but we should know what exactly is charge. So the term charge, what is charge? Like we might have come across this term in our day-to-day lives. We say that when we rub comb in our hair, and when we try to bring it close to some pieces of paper, it attracts it, and we say that yeah, there is a charge existing, there is attraction coming up, positive, negative, a charge attracting each other, and things like that. But what exactly is charge is the question. So charge is basically nothing but it is a fundamental property of matter. Like you say that mass is fundamental property of matter, charge is also a fundamental property of matter. What charge can do for us? Let's say let me put it like that. Mass, you know what is mass? Mass is the fundamental property of matter. It is the amount of matter in a body. It is represented by kg. And what is the physical quantity related with mass? That we call as gravitational force. Like object possessing mass can attract an object and possessing mass, or can exert a attractive force for an object possessing mass. So like we say that whenever we throw any object upwards, it comes downwards. Why? Because earth is pulling it with a gravitational force, and mass of earth is high enough to attract any object which is thrown upwards, except in some exceptional cases. So I think the mass of earth is something like 6 into 24 kg, and it is enough to attract any kind of force. So why I brought mass into picture is I want to explain charge. So mass is a fundamental property of matter. Charge is also a fundamental property of matter. Property of matter. I think the definition is not yet complete. Now let me complete it. So charge is fundamental property of matter because of which there exists an electric force between two similar objects. So two objects possessing charge can exert force on each other. Like I just gave an example of how the rubbing a comb on here and then attracting pieces of paper. Similar to that, we have a lot of examples. And how is it different from the force attracted by gravity? Is this force is always attractive, but you would have seen that this kind of force, they can be attractive as well as repulsive. So now this topic we will talk about what exactly is that force. Also, you can make notes of what I'm talking so that you can recap it later on. So yeah, I was talking that in this chapter we'll be talking on the nature of force which exists between two charged bodies, the quantization of force, like how we can calculate the amount of force existing using some physical expressions. And after that we will also talk about nature of charges and also the property of charges. Like basic property we all know that, yeah, like charges will repel, unlike charges will attract, but we'll go into a bit detail and talk more about the charges. After that we will obviously come across a term called field. What exactly is field? You would have come across this term field in your gravitational chapter in class 11th, which is gravitational field. Something to that we will come across here, which is electrostatic field. And then we will go more into detail. We will talk about electric lines of force, we will talk about electric forces, we will talk about electric flux, and this is what this chapter will cover. So in our coming slides or coming lectures we will be covering in detailed manner about this particular chapter.